Hello! So in this video I'm going to be doing a book unhaul. I'm kind of on a bit of a book buying ban at the moment, and I'm trying to declutter my entire flat because I need some more space. I found out that I'm pregnant, so I'm having another baby. So yeah, we need as much space in our flat as possible until we obviously upgrade and move to another house. And yeah, I have a lot of books. I downgraded my bookshelves as well. I had a set of 3 bookshelves in my lounge. One was like a floor to ceiling one, and then 2 half bookshelves. And the 2 half bookshelves were getting a bit tatty, so I decided to replace them. And I got a really nice pine wooden bookshelf, which is gorgeous, and I'm currently organising it so that I can do like a bookshelf tour. But I couldn't fit all of my books on it, obviously, because I've gone from 2 to 1. So yeah, I'm currently going through all my books and deciding what I want to keep, what I want to get rid of. So I've kind of got them all stacked up and piled up, and some of them I want to try and read before I get rid of. So yeah, I have a lot of books to sort out, and I'm going to be really selective with books that I am going to be bringing back into the house, so books I'm going to be buying. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead with this. I have a few books, a couple different genres. I also have some graphic novels I'm going to get rid of. I filled up this Poundland bag, so yeah, I'm going to show you guys what I'm getting rid of and why. So let me move this to the side. Ugh, it's quite heavy. And the first book I'm getting rid of is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawn. And I picked up this because I saw it all over Instagram. Instagram kind of influenced me to pick up this book. I was like, oh, it's about witches. It's about a school of female witches. That sounds really cool. But unfortunately, that's pretty much all I knew about it. And it ended up not really being for me. I read the first chapter and the writing style didn't gel with me. It was very jumpy and kind of all over the place. I found it quite difficult to keep track, and I just kind of lost my attention. Yeah, and then I did a little bit more research into it, and I looked it up on Goodreads, and people were saying like it's kind of a political book, it has like a statement to make, which is fine. I have nothing inherently wrong by that. But I don't know, when I'm reading books, it's kind of my escapism from the real world. So sometimes when a book is really political and it really kind of shoves it down your throat, it ruins it a little bit for me. Even if I agree with whatever the book is saying, it can still feel a little bit, I don't know, I want to get completely lost when I'm reading a story, like something nothing to do with real life, you know? So yeah, I ended up deciding to DNF and get rid of it. Unfortunately, it's my first DNF of this year, but yeah, the writing style just wasn't for me. It was too jumpy back and forth, and even though the premise does sound like I would enjoy it, yeah, it just ended up not being for me. But I know it is popular, so I'd rather pass it on to someone else who's really going to enjoy it. So that's the first one I'm getting rid of. The second one I'm getting rid of is Scary Monsters and Super Creeps by Don Joel. I've done a review on this on my channel. I actually really enjoyed it. It's non-fiction about this guy who goes travelling to different countries, and he's kind of investigating different legends. And originally you think it's going to be about him really getting into discovering whether these monsters are real. Like he goes after like a Yeti and like the Loch Ness monster, but really he doesn't do a whole lot of monster hunting. It's more about his experiences going to different countries and yeah, like his travel experiences, which I actually enjoyed. I feel like his personality and his writing is a bit, I don't know, there's some offensive language in this book which didn't sit quite right for me. I feel like this was written, you know, way back when, I don't know, those jokes would have been more seen as okay, but for me, some of the language he uses, I'm a bit like, oh. But the story was interesting. I did enjoy his writing style. It was very comical. It was very light-hearted. And yeah, I enjoyed the non-fiction adventure side of it, like learning about different countries. So I want to pick up more books in that genre. I'm just not sure where to start with that. So if anyone has any recommendations for like travel books, leave them in the comments down below, because I would find that really interesting, because I don't really know where to start. But yeah, that's another thing for another time. But yeah, I am going to get rid of that one, just because I don't think I would reread it. And like I said, I'm looking for books with a similar genre, but just maybe slightly different writing style. The next book I'm getting rid of is The Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. Oh my god, this book, I have tried to read this so many times. It's a very thin book, and every time I end up DNFing it. I picked this up because I watched the film. I've seen this film a few times many years ago, and I don't know, I just found it a little bit intriguing, and I knew there was a book, so I thought I'll give it a go. However, this book is written exactly how the actors speak in the film. It is an absolute nightmare to read for somebody who has dyslexia, because it's a mashup of English and, is it Russian? I can't remember. It's like Russian slang or some kind of slang, Slavic slang. I can't remember exactly. They explain it. They have a little bit note here explaining it. But yeah, the language is a really difficult book to read for me. The sentences don't make sense. You have to piece it together. And like, you get a few pages in and my brain just hurt, and I was like, I don't understand what they're saying. And I didn't care enough to try and piece it together. I was like, I'll just watch the film again if I feel like watching it, you know. So yeah, it was a very difficult book for me to read. Like I said, if you have dyslexia, then just give it a hard pass. If you're someone who's interested in complex language, like a play on language, of slang and stuff, and kind of made up languages, then you might like this. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. I then have a random little book about druids, which I picked up in a charity shop. It was interesting. I haven't read it all the way through. But yeah, it's just been sat on my shelves for such a long time. And I flicked back and forth through it. But yeah, like I said, I've got so many books to get through. I'm really trying to be picky about what I'm keeping and about what I'm letting go. So yeah, I think I'm just going to have to let this go. I'll watch a documentary on YouTube if I want to learn more about the druids, because I do find those kinds of things interesting. I then have Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I have started reading this and I am enjoying her writing, but I have 2 copies of this book. I picked up a more, what I would say, like fancy kind of copy, and then I saw this one and I picked this one up because it was cheap, and I was like, well, I can annotate this one. But yeah, like I said, I have limited space and I want to declutter, so I don't want to be keeping doubles of books that I already have. Do you know what I mean? Unless I really love the book. And I've just come around to the fact that, you know what, I'm just going to annotate the fancy one. I don't need 2 versions. I like the other version, the other cover, way better. And I'm just going to annotate that one. And so I'll let this one go. The next one is Boneless Mercies. I'm pretty sure this has been in an Unhaul before, and I was going to get rid of it, and for some reason it's still on my shelves. I don't know why. I did enjoy it. It was an interesting story. It's about these girls, a band of girls who go around, and the Boneless Mercies are people who basically do mercy killings for people. It's like their job. And they all of the, I think there's 4 women or 4 girls. They're like young adults, and they're all from like different kind of, how would you say, like different kind of groups of people. So like one's like a beach witch, and then one is like comes from the Boneless Mercies tribe. Like, it was interesting. It was a good story. It was a good young adult book. I would recommend to people who like fantasy. But yeah, I'm just not going to reread. So that was the reason for getting rid of it, and I don't know why it was still on my shelves. So it's definitely going this time, because I do think somebody else would enjoy this too. The next book is probably no surprise if you've seen my book review on this. This is Disturbance by Jenna Clegg. I did a review on this recently, so yeah, if you've seen that review then you know why I'm getting rid of this. It was just really boring, nothing happens, and yeah, it was really boring. That's all I have to say about that one. The next book I'm getting, well, this is actually a graphic novel, and this is Nimona. And again, I actually really enjoyed this book. It was quite popular when it, or graphic novel, sorry. It was popular when it first came out, and I actually got this from a friend. He didn't want it anymore. He read it and it wasn't his thing, so he passed it on to me. I read it and I actually did enjoy it. The reason I'm getting rid of it is just because it's been on my shelf for a good few years now and I haven't reread it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pass it along. It's kind of like a comical graphic novel, and yeah, I don't remember the full story. It's like a sidekick and a supervillain. Nimona and Lord Blackheart are about to wreak some serious havoc. And yeah, it's just like a funny, I believe there's a romance between these two characters as well, from what I remember. But yeah, it was good. I did enjoy it. I remember enjoying it. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to reread anytime soon. So yeah, and I would love to pass this along to someone else who would really enjoy it. But I would recommend it if you're into graphic novels. The next book I'm going to be getting rid of, this was a really hard decision for me. So this is Board Gay Werewolf by Tony Santorella. And I actually really liked this book. I've done a full review of it. It's up on my channel. But yeah, it's about a board gay werewolf, and he joins a friendship group which are like these kind of like macho men who are on a mission to, you know, be really productive. And he makes friends with this really productive guy, and he's not so productive. And it's about their friendship. It's a friendship story. About his differences between him and these other werewolves, and he's kind of being pulled between his original friend group who love him and have his back, and then he's kind of being drawn to this other friend group which is so different from him, who are like into like fitness and like productivity, and you know, he's kind of taken on Brian, the main character, as like a protege, and he's gonna shape him into this tough guy, and you know. And it was actually a really good story. It was really fun. I really liked the main character, Brian. He was quite relatable. And yeah, so this is a tough one. The only reason I'm getting rid of it is I don't see when I'm going to reread it. I don't know. This is still kind of on the maybe pile. I also love the front cover. I think it's really cool. I don't know. I'm going to sleep on this one. I might pull it back out of the bag. I might not donate it. I don't know yet. But yeah, my reasoning for getting rid of it is because I don't see when I would reread. I have so many books I need to get through. But I don't know. I'm going back and forth. I may pull it back out the book. You may still see it on my bookshelves. I don't know yet. I'm going to like sleep on that one. The next book I'm getting rid of is this big chunky James Herbert book, and this is James Herbert Ash. Again, this has been sat on my shelves for many years, and you might be thinking, oh, you've said you really love this author in previous videos, and yeah, I do. I really like James Herbert's writing. I have read lots of his works, and the reason I'm getting rid of this book is because it's a really chunky book. I got way over halfway in this book, but then I never actually finished it, and I think the reason being is just because it's such a chunky hardback. It's actually quite hard to read from, and if I was going to reread it, I would have to start from the beginning again, because it's been so many years since I read it. I remember the gist. It's about some kind of psychologist who goes to work in this like really remote place, and there are these children there, and there's one that's a bit mysterious. But yeah, I am going to reread this book, and I am going to finish this book, but I'm going to buy the paperback at some point when I'm back buying books and I have more space. Yeah, I'm going to rebuy it because all my other James Herbert books are paperback. This is the only hardback, and it doesn't fit in with the rest of my James Herbert books, which annoys me. Which I know is silly, but it's something I like. I like to have continuity in my bookshelves. So yeah, I will be rebuying it in a paperback. So yeah, that's why I'm getting rid of this one. It's just so big. It takes up so much space. It's not because I don't like the story. It's not because I don't like the author. It's just the book itself. It's just too big, and it takes up too much space. So yeah, I will be passing this along, and I'll probably rebuy it at some point in a paperback version. The next book I'm getting rid of is A Sundial by Katrina Ward. And again, if you've seen my review of this book, you know how I feel about Katrina Ward. She's a bit of a polarising author for me. I really enjoy like the premise of her books, and I enjoy her writing. The stories just never hit quite right for me. I've also read The Last House on Needless Street. I really didn't like the motivational plot points she used in that. I've done a review, it's on my channel. I also quite recently read Looking Glass by her. Same feelings. I loved like the first half, the middle half was and the ending was just like, what the fuck. This book is probably the one I like the best out of all of her books I've read so far. It's a little bit overcomplicated. Yeah, it's a really weird story. She writes very weird stories that are interesting, but just it doesn't quite hit for me for some reason. And this was also one of these books. I've got a full review if you want to know up on my channel. But yeah, I think I'm going to pass it along because I'm not going to reread it. To be honest, I only read her books when they turn up in the horror book box I'm subscribed to. I probably wouldn't pick her up otherwise, just because I've read 3 books by her now and they're all a bit meh for me. So yeah, I'm going to pass this along. Again, she's the author that I know a lot of people enjoy, so I'd rather pass this along to somebody else and know that they're really going to enjoy it, rather than it be sat on my shelves, you know, never to be read again. So we're then on to the graphic novels, I believe. So Lovecraft Anthology, same thing with most of these. I'm not going to continue the series. I have read it fully and I enjoyed it. It's a collection of like short stories made into graphic novels. I like the graphic novel style. All the stories were in slightly different styles. I enjoyed it. Again, not going to reread, so it can go. Same thing with these. I got a Rocket Raccoon Marvel. I'm not super into Marvel. I got this around the hype of Guardians of the Galaxy. Really enjoyed the first film. The other ones are okay, but yeah, I really liked Rocket and Groot, were my favourite characters. So I picked this up, I read it, I have enjoyed it, but again, probably not going to reread. So I would like to pass it on to somebody else who would enjoy it, because they're good stories. I did enjoy these graphic novels. So the next one is Groot. Same as the Marvel Groot, and I have so many graphic novel series that I want to continue with and I absolutely love, so I'd rather make space for them than keep these. Again, Groot's like my favourite character in Guardians of the Galaxy, so I wanted to know his backstory. So yeah, it was interesting, I liked it, but I'm going to pass it on. Next we have a Neil Gaiman graphic novel, Toll Bridge. This was okay. I've tried to read Neil Gaiman's writing, and I know he's super popular, but I don't know, again, he's just one of those authors where he's popular but it just doesn't hit with me. There's just something about it that's always a bit meh. And yeah, I like the artist style. The story was interesting, but again, not going to reread, not going to continue collecting his works, so it can go. Same thing with Monstress. This is quite popular, I believe. I picked this up when it was like first coming out. Again, really enjoyed it. I actually got, this is a little bit of a hard one to let go, because I got this from Forbidden Planet, which is like this comic book shop that does like also figurines and stuff, like Funko Pops and stuff. And I got it up in London, a trip with my husband, and yeah, I just have fond memories of going to Forbidden Planet. I haven't been there in a really long time. It's probably going to be a while longer before I go. And I did enjoy this graphic novel. It was very interesting. I just have other ones I want to read more. I just have other series I want to continue more. You know, my library is pretty good at actually getting graphic novels in. And this is a popular graphic novel series, so I might see if they have it in my library. I'll continue reading this series through that or through them. But yeah, it's just been on my shelves for a very long time, and I've never reread it, and I haven't the urge to continue this story. Like I said, I have so many other graphic novels that I really want to finish and get through the entire series, that's just kind of sat at volume 1 for so long on my shelves. Same with this Fable graphic novel. This is a hardback. The Fables, it's just such a big series to get into. They have so many different graphic novels to pick from. Fables is basically like fairy tales, like real life. The fairy tales are in real life. And I do have volume 1 Fables, which so far I'm keeping. This was kind of like a side story graphic novel. I picked this up at a comic book convention I went to, again with my husband. And yeah, I kind of held on to it because of those memories, because I got it at our first comic book convention we went to. But it's just such a massive series, and I need space on my shelves. And again, it's werewolves. Werewolves are one of like my favourite like mythical creatures to read about. It's why I'm like second guessing board gay and werewolf, because I don't have many werewolf books, but they're my favourite like mythological creatures. I don't know why, I just have always really liked werewolves. So yeah, I read it and I enjoyed it, and then I never reread it. So yeah, again, I would like to pass it on to someone else who may enjoy more. I then have Corpse Talk season 1, and I believe this is the last one in my bag. And again, this is funny, I debated about keeping this for my son. It's basically like little short graphic novels about this guy who's going around and interviewing dead historical people. So there we had, here we go, George Washington, William Wallace, and the 6 wives of Henry the 8th, Richard Lionheart, Albert Einstein, Jane Austen, Gandhi. Yeah, it was funny. Cleopatra, Mary Shelley, and it's a very small little panels on the graphic novel, but I did enjoy it and it was funny. Again, I just haven't picked it up in a really long time, and I need to let some stuff go. So yeah, that was my last one that I'm getting rid of. So those are all the books and graphic novels I'm getting rid of. Let me know what you think. Do you think I made a mistake with any of these? Should I have kept them? Have you read any of these and really enjoyed them? But yeah, some of these were easy decisions. Like, I feel like these Marvel ones were easy decisions for me, and some of these were really hard decisions. Like, you know, like Ash was difficult to get rid of because it is by one of my favourite authors, but I will rebuy it in a, you know, a smaller edition. Nimona, and you know, I'm still on the fence about this one. I still don't know if it's for sure gonna go. Because I feel like I could maybe reread it in the future, but I just have so many books to get through. Yeah, for now it's going to stay in the Unhaul pile. I might take it back out by the morning. I might have changed my mind. But yeah, some of these, like you can see, are hard decisions to make. And some of these are easy decisions to make. Like this one was just read the first chapter and was like, I'm really not gelling with it. This one, which I don't know why that's still on my shelves. This one, because I've got 2 copies of it. So yeah, a complete mixture of stuff. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And this is going to be one of many book unhauls, so yeah, there'll be more to come, and then hopefully I can show you my new shelves. So with all the books I definitely want to keep, because I have a lot of books. Like I still have 2 bookshelves now. I have stacks next to the bookshelves. I have like multiple book stacks in my bedroom. I just have books literally everywhere, and you know, I only live in a 2-bedroom flat, so yeah, I need to make some space. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling, and that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye guys.